Good morning, children. So I opened your question paper. You people check that questions. I'll come back. We'll discuss question paper. Yes, any questions?
Question number 70, ma'am.
Divya?
Yes, ma'am.
Pancreatic enzymes, Nana. Hormone which stimulate the secretion of pancreatic enzymes and cholecystokinin.
Okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
Secretin ankondi, it stimulates the pancreas to secrete water and bicarbonates, not enzymes.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So secretin is a hormone secreted by duodenal mucosa and it stimulates pancreas to produce water and bicarbonates. In the same way, cholecystokinin, also called as pancreozymin, secreted by duodenal mucosa, stimulate pancreas to secrete enzymes. Two different functions, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
And what else? Next. Next question.
Ma'am, 49, ma'am.
This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Proteolytic enzymes, stomach and both pepsin and renin.
Ma'am, will pepsin also come, ma'am, in that?
Of course, pepsin is digesting the proteins into proteoses and peptones. Amy.
Ma'am, then renin is also a type of pepsin, no, ma'am. But in
No,
fats
it is
means,
acting on milk protein. Renin is acting on milk protein. Renin acting on milk protein and coagulating it. Pepsin acting on other proteins and converting them into proteoses and peptones. It is coagulating milk protein, means denaturation of milk protein.
yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
The milk protein, other protein, like suppose if you consume any dal or any other chicken, mutton, adi protein, pepsin. Milk protein, renin. First it is coagulated, means solidified, curd. Then it is digested by pepsin into peptones and proteoses. So answer should be 4, 1 and 2.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
What else? Ah. Hmm. Of course, contraction of gallbladder and stimulates pancreas to release its enzymes. Not there, but it is its function. I gave you also, I think. Yeah, both. Uh, Once the acidic food reaches duodenum, partially digested acidic food reaches duodenum, chyme reaches duodenum. That partially digested acidic food stimulate the duodenum mucosa. So it secretes hormones. Cholecystokinin, it stimulates both the gallbladder, contracts gallbladder to release the bile, and stimulate the pancreas to release the enzyme. So why cholecystokinin? Another name is pancreozymin. అయితే ఇంకొక నేమ్ కూడా ఉంది. గ్యాస్ట్రిక్ ఇన్హిబిటరీ కాదు. Glucose inhibitory peptide ఏదో ఉంది చూడు. I think in your material it is removed. ఉండండి చెప్తా. A glucose inhibitory peptide అది. Wait. Yeah. Glucose dependent insulotropic peptide. Not inhibitor, I'm sorry. Insulinotropic peptide. One more name is there. Of course, here it is not important, so I didn't go through that. It is in the hormone lesson. Sorry, any other question? Inanna? May I start
No,
lesson?
ma'am.
So may I start
Yes,
lesson?
ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
So put heading under appendicular skeleton, pelvic girdle and bones of hind limb. Put heading appendicular skeleton, pelvic girdle and bones of hind limb. Pelvic girdle consists two bones, two coxal bones, one on left side and one on right side. And each, 1 minute, is both clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Each coxal bone in turn made up of three bones, but they are strongly fused. You know very well, already we are done. At the early childhood, they remain free at the time of birth, but as you become, as you grow, your legs and your pelvic girdle, all they become stronger so that you could sit and you could stand and you can walk. Okay, so what are the three bones? Ilium, careful, it is ILIUM, not EUM. If it is EUM, small intestine part, you know very well, duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Yeah, but it is IUM, ilium, ischium and pubis. Okay, so these three bones fuse to give one strong bone, that is coxal bone, one on right and another one on left. Of course, for board exam, you'll get this question to draw the diagram. Important 4-mark question. So how to draw? First, you give a W-shaped outline like this. A W-shaped outline. Symmetrical. Like this. So now start this ilium, ischium and pubic bones. Yes, now on the dorsal side, it is ilium bone. On the ventral side, dorsal ventral side, it is ischium. I'm changing color. And completely on the ventral side, it is pubis. So the total three bones participate and all they are strongly fused to give one single bone, strong bone, coxal bone. How can you say it is made up of three bones? Here all the three could form a depression. All three together form a depression called acetabulum, and we could see the scars of the three bone, attachment of those three bones. Like this part is contributed by ischium, this part is contributed by pubis, and the remaining part is contributed by ilium. So this total depression is called acetabulum, where head of the femur, femur means thigh bone, head of the femur bone is fixed there to make hip joint, so you can move your leg very easily. So like it is compared to the glenoid cavity in the pectoral girdle, where it receives the head of the humerus bone. In the same way, here it receives the head of the femur, thigh bone, head. So this depression, ball and socket joint again. So this part is ilium, this part is ischium or ischium, and this part is pubis, pubic bone. So draw that side also same way, symmetrically. Ilium, give some small crest here like this, and here this is pubic bone. Yes, this is ischium bone. With this bones only we can sit on these bones. Okay, now ventral side it is pubic bone. So both the pubic bones fuse on ventral side, and in between it is fibrous cartilage. Made up of the joint is made up of fibrous cartilage called pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis. So there also you draw a cavity, acetabulum, and that cavity depression shows scar of three bones like this. Got it? So on right side, one coxal bone, and on left side, another coxal bone. And you know very well, pelvic girdle attached to the axial skeleton on the dorsal side. If you remember, our pectoral girdle attaches to your axial skeleton on ventral side to the manubrium through through clavicles, kada. Both the clavicles attach on the manubrium. So your pectoral girdle attached to your axial skeleton on ventral side to the sternum, but pelvic girdle attached to the axial skeleton on dorsal side to the vertebral column. How you know very well? No, not coccyx. It is sacrum. It is sacrum. You know, five bones fused to give one single sacrum. So it is first sacrum where the transverse processes of the first sacral vertebrae sit on the pelvic girdle. It is carrying the total weight of the body on the pelvic girdle, and we could stand on our legs. So it is first sacral vertebrae where its transverse processes are strong and wide. Then 1, 2, 3, like this. What are those? They are foramina through which nerves emerge. Sacral nerves enter into your legs. Okay. And the last one is coccyx. Completed. And this is the largest foramen in the body. Obturator foramen or ischial foramen. Obturator foramen is the largest foramen in the body. What is the use of that? See, just give the outline of the body. These are 2 legs here. Okay, 2 legs here. So all your nerves, sacral nerves, from the spinal cord, this bundle of nerves. Okay, like artery, femoral artery means artery entering into the leg. Vein, femoral vein, lymph vessel, nerves, all they move into the leg through this foramen. So obturator foramen, largest foramen in the body. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So watch this video now related to pelvic girdle. May I close this question paper?
A large amount of motion needed for daily activities like walking,
Is sound clear for everyone?
squatting, and stair climbing. Understanding how the different layers of the hip are arranged and connected can help you understand how the hip works, how it can be injured, and how challenging recovery can be when this joint is injured or damaged by arthritis. The deepest layer of the hip includes the bones and the joints. The next layer is made up of the ligaments of the joint capsule. And finally, these ligaments are covered by the important tendons and the muscles that help move the leg. The important structures of the hip can be divided into several categories. These include bones and joints, ligaments and tendons, muscles, nerves, blood vessels, and bursa. The bones that form the hip are the femur or the thigh bone and the pelvis. The top end of the femur is shaped like a ball. This ball is called the femoral head. The femoral head fits into a round socket on.
Then I understood that acetabulum.
Yes, ma'am.
And why this blue layer is given? Tell me.
Connecting bone to bone.
Ah, okay. What is that? What is that layer?
Cartilage.
No, ligament is different. Yeah, someone
Cartilage.
cartilage, yes. Ligament itla untadi చూడండి. అది ligament.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Outside sheets made up of collagen fibers connecting both the bones so that you can move, rotate your leg with the head into this pelvic girdle. I mean, acetabulum of the pelvis. We are not discussing about ligament. First of all, I'm asking that is what?
Articular cartilage.
Articular cartilage. Blue color is given. So what is that cartilage?
Hyaline.
That's good. Hyaline cartilage. Articular cartilage made up of hyaline cartilage. One important point is there. This articular cartilage lacks perichondrium. You remember junior inter lesson perichondrium?
Yes, ma'am.
Cartilage, isn't it? And all blood vessels are supplied up to perichondrium. So if perichondrium is there, cartilage can undergo repair and regeneration, any damage in future. Without perichondrium, cartilage cannot undergo repair and regeneration. Simply by diffusion, it gets food and oxygen. But if it is if repair or regeneration is required, not at all. ఇది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఆర్టికులర్ కార్టిలేజ్ ఏది నా కర్సర్? యా, no perichondrium, so no capacity to undergo repair and regeneration. So generally it is a old age disorder. They suffer with joint pain, osteoarthritis at the end. We will do maybe tomorrow. We'll go through the disorders. So this disorder is due to wear and tear of this cartilage, but it cannot regenerate. Joint pains in the old age people, age related disorder it is, because throughout the age, throughout the life, we were using this joint, particularly walking, moving, running, sitting, jumping, standing, everything. So it undergo wear and tear, but no regeneration repair capacity. So as our age increases, we feel pain and we feel discomfort near the joints, because articular cartilage is without perichondrium. Important question.
Of any joint. Articular cartilage is about 1/4 of an inch thick in the large weight-bearing joints like the hip. Articular cartilage is white and shiny and has a rubbery consistency. It is slippery, which allows the joint surfaces to slide against one another without causing any damage. The function of articular cartilage is to absorb shock and provide an extremely smooth surface to make motion easier. We have articular cartilage essentially everywhere that two bony surfaces move against one another or articulate. In the hip, articular cartilage covers the end of the femur and the socket portion of the acetabulum in the pelvis. The cartilage is especially thick in the upper and back part of the socket, as this is where most of the force occurs during walking and running. Ligaments are soft tissue structures that connect bones to bones. There are several important ligaments in and around the hip.
Okay,
Surrounding
so
the hip
keep
joint,
that in.
the joint capsule is
Understood this bone part? Inanna. This is
Yes, ma'am.
this is ilium. This part is ischium, and front part it is pubis. Because we don't have time to run everything, because no need also. Idigondi idi pubis, idi ischium. This one is ilium, and you know understood the acetabulum, and this is orbitator foramen in the ischium. Of course, you know very well blood vessels, nerves, all they move through that. Of course, the gluteus maximus muscle is strongest muscle in the body. Wait a minute. Arey yaar, my mouse is not here again. I can't go to search it. Understood this? Idigonda transverse processes of the first sacral vertebrae. And
Yes.
these are foramen openings through which sacral nerves run out. These are foramen openings of the vertebra through which sacral nerves, you know, 5 bones, 5 sacral nerves, 5 pairs of sacral nerves. They run through this obturator foramen and enter into the leg. And the last part it is coccyx. You could see that.
the obturator nerve, also goes to the inside of the hip. These nerves carry the signals from the brain to the muscles that move the hip.
Yeah, backside you could see. This is sacrum and this part is coccyx.
Yes.
And this is ischium bone on which we can sit. And these are ilium, iliac, and this is the crest where it receives sacrum. Okay, Nana?
Nerves also carry signals back to the brain about sensations such as touch, pain, and temperature. Traveling along with the nerves are the large vessels that supply the lower limb with blood. The large femoral artery begins deep within the pelvis. It passes by the front of the hip area and goes down toward the inner edge of the knee. If you place your hand on the front of your upper thigh, you may be able to feel the pulsing of this large artery. The femoral artery has a deep branch called the Profunda Femoris. Profunda means deep. The Profunda Femoris sends two vessels that go through the hip joint capsule. These vessels are the main blood supply for the femoral head. As mentioned earlier, the ligamentum teres contains a small blood vessel that gives a very small supply of blood to the top of the femoral head. Other small vessels form within the pelvis and supply the back portion of the buttocks and hip. Where friction occurs between muscles, tendons, and bones, there is usually a structure called a bursa. A bursa is a thin sac of tissue that contains fluid to lubricate the area and reduce friction. The bursa is a normal structure that is produced by the body in response to friction between two structures. A bursa that sometimes causes problems in the hip is sandwiched between the bump on the outer hip, the greater trochanter, and the muscles and tendons that cross over the bump. This bursa, called the greater trochanteric bursa, can become irritated and inflamed, causing a condition called trochanteric bursitis. Another bursa sits between the iliopsoas muscle and the hip joint where the iliopsoas tendon passes in front of the hip joint. When this bursa becomes inflamed, the condition is called iliopsoas bursitis. A third bursa covers the ischial tuberosity, the bump of bone in your buttocks that you sit on, and again, inflammation of this bursa is called ischial bursitis. As you can see, the hip is complex with a design that provides a great amount of stability. It also allows good mobility and range of motion for doing a wide range of daily activities. Many powerful muscles connect to and cross by the hip joint, making it possible for us to accelerate quickly during actions like running and jumping.
Okay, Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood. So this diagram is asked for 4 mark. Learn the diagram, all of you. Now start the next heading, put heading, bones of hind limb. How many bones? 30 bones.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, as usual, 30 bones. So let us start there. 30 bones. As usual, your toe, first finger of the leg towards your median line and little finger towards lateral line you have to take. So head of the femur, neck of the femur, what we'll take? This side we'll take it. ఏది తీసుకుందాం? లెఫ్ట్ లెగ్ తీసుకుందామా?
Yes, ma'am.
Greater trochanter, lesser trochanter. What's the use of them? Attachment of hip muscles and leg muscles. The head, neck. And you know, head fixed into this acetabulum, you have seen. And this is neck. And this is femur bone. Tibia. Exactly on the line it is tibia. And outside, outer margin. This outer margin ravali. Fibula. And this is tibia. I'm giving left leg.
Yes, ma'am.
Then now we are going to draw bones of your leg. You outline leg bones. So as usual from toes I am starting. Hallux it is. Means first toe. So all those are phalanges. As usual 14 phalanges. As usual 5 metatarsals.
The tarsals.
Five metatarsals and then 7 tarsals. We have to draw 7 tarsals here. 3 plus 4 arrangement. So mainly this tibia sits on a bone called talus. If you are interested, you learn, otherwise no need. Like in the hand also, trapezium, trapezoid, scaphoid, lunate, it's up to you. ఇది talus where it sits. The total your body weight sit on that bone. And the back side, the largest tarsal on the back side, it is calcaneum. Yes, heel bone. Largest tarsal it is. Among 7 tarsals, it is largest. Now front one more bone is there because 3 plus 4 kada. It is navicular. You can walk flexibly on your leg. Suppose it is leg ankondila. Your body flexibly walk on
Yes.
that. So navicular it is named as. Okay. Now the remaining 4. What are those? Let us see. Cuneiform 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one is cuboid. So these 3 should be called as cuneiform. Cuneiform ante gada shape, club shaped. Do you know Hanuman?
Yes, ma'am.
That cartoon movie you might have seen. He carries a club weapon.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, club is cuneiform. Technically, it is called cuneiform. Cuneiform 1, 2, 3. And the last is cuboid. Towards your little finger, it is cuboid because it is cube shape. If you are interested, you learn them. Otherwise, no need. You
Yes.
can't escape. If you get seat, you have to prepare. That's enough. Completed. Next topic, we have to start first. Complete them. Walking. I posted the diagram also on your book. I mean, WhatsApp group. Tibia sits on talus. Like you can compare, Nana, I'm showing a chair. What we do when we can prepare anything, idigondi. Leg ki ikkada base istam kada to sit. ఇది ఒక చైర్ లెగ్ చూపిస్తున్నాను బేస్ వైడ్ చేస్తాం కదా మనం
Yes, ma'am.
సో దట్ ఇట్ కెన్ సిట్ అలానే టాలస్ ఈస్ ద వన్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫిక్స్డ్ టిబియా ఈస్ ఫిక్స్డ్ సో మనకి బ్యాలెన్స్ కుదురుతుంది అప్పుడు ఓకేనా
Yes, ma'am.
Once you complete, I'll remove this diagram and we'll move to the next new lesson faster.
Done, ma'am.
Now put heading types of joints. May I clear this?
Yes, ma'am.
Now put heading types of joints. First, again they are divided, classified on the base of the structure they are constructed and according to the function, movability. So divide it into two parts. On the base of the structure, how many types are there? The structure with which they are constructed, and on the base of its function. So what is the function of the joint? You know, on the base of its movability. Got it? How many types are there according to structure, how they are constructed? Three types on the base of structure. Fibrous joints, cartilaginous joints. Just now we have seen in the pelvic girdle, both the pubic bones. Yeah. Here it is connected by fibrous cartilage. Just now I told. Gurtunda?
Yes, ma'am. Pubic symbol.
Ah, yeah. That is example for cartilage joint.
Yes, ma'am.
Like that, we are going to study them. And one more thing I forget to say that, ఇది చూడండి ఇక్కడ, you will get a question, application based question. Some dead body found which is almost decomposed to the skeleton level. And can you identify whether it is female or male skeleton, they ask. It's an application based. Yeah. So here if it is wider than 90-degree angle, wider angle, then it is female. Lesser 90, ఇంత wide లేదు, less wider, then it is male. Okay, why it is wider in female ante you know very well. To carry the child for 9 months, ఇది wide ఉంది అనుకో, అది female skeleton. You know, here it is uterus, so baby grow inside for total 9 months. So to carry all the reproductive organs and to carry the weight of the baby for 9 months, it is almost wide and basin-like in female.
Yes, ma'am.
So you'll get a question, application-based question by checking the skeleton. Can you say whether it is, of course, if you observe the cells, XX and XY chromosomes also reveals whether it is female or male. But just by looking at the skeleton by pelvic girdle, can you identify whether it is female or male? Adi adagachu. Okay, now the third joint is, third type according to structure is synovial. So important is the 4-mark question, the detailed structure. Tomorrow we'll go through because only 5 minutes left. Just we'll complete all the types. Now here, when you come to the function, movability, according to movability, again 3 types. Immovable joints means synarthrosis. Syn means completely fused. Arthros means, you know, joint, arthropoda. Immovable joints. according to the mobility, functional capacity. Second, slightly movable means amphi, amphi means both sides, not completely movable, not completely immobile, slightly. So amphiarthrosis. And finally, freely movable joints, and they are called diarthrosis. So all synovial joints are diarthrosis. Write down, important. All synovial joints are diarthrosis. Over. Written.
Yes.
Diarthrosis. D-I-D-I-A-R. Diarthrosis. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
So continue with that one. As I told, fibrous, both the bones near the joint connected by fiber. Like example, sutures. In the skull, you know very well, already we have studied that these cranial bones are connected by,
Sutures.
why we name them as sutures? Because they look like stitches. So sutures, example for fibrous joints, immovable joints, zigzag outer margin of one bone fixed into the zigzag outer margin of another bone, and the joint is fixed by collagen fibers. And what? Here they are filled with collagen fibers. Don't feel that it is very simple or easy joint. It's very strong joint. So it is immovable joint. So come under sutures, come under immovable joint as an example. At the same time, sutures example for fibrous joints, because between the two bones it is collagen fiber. Very strong, If you observe this Hindu people, they will give fire to the dead body. Even under that fire also, these bones never open, because those people believe that Atma goes from this side. I'm not explaining any religious thing here. I want to say the intensity of the joint here. Though the Hindu people believe that soul goes out here from here. So what they do, that person beats with a big log so that the suture joint is broken, then Atma goes out. Don't know whether it is there or not, but they believe that. I want to say the intensity, strength of that
Yes.
joint. Very strong joint there. Very strong, isn't it? Very, very, very strong.
Yes, ma'am.
So it comes under fibrous and it is immobile. Over. Close. Next. Last one, we'll continue it tomorrow. Gom forces. Yes, gom forces also come under immobile joint. Example, nothing but in the sockets of the jawbone. Say this is jawbone. And these are socket. Tooth are enclosed. Ticodon teeth kada. And here this joint is connected by periodontal membrane, if you remember. Enana?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is made up of collagen fiber, periodontal membrane or ligament, come under fibrous joint, and this type of joints are called gomphoses, and they are also immovable. Thank you, children. Have a nice day, all of you. Tomorrow we'll continue with the remaining joints.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.